Near mint condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
Absolute format is the best way to own this store. Time to empty those wallets and fill those shelves. How's it going, all you minties? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions, and join me today for my overview of the Disney villains Maleficent from Dynamite. So let's go ahead and get started. Before going any further, I do want to thank the folks at Dynamite for sending us copies of both of these versions of the book, actually. So you have the hardcover version over here on the left and the trade paperback version. Both of them available the same day. And I think that's really unique that a company is doing that. And kind of give you an idea of what the differences are. It's just a little bit taller, but I mean, obviously, just to make sure people know though, the paper trim size is the same. It's just that this is on a hardback. So up at the top, you have Dynamite, Disney villains, Maleficent, and Soo Lee, who is the writer and artist on the book. And then the backs of the book. So you have the hardcover that retails for $19.99 and the softcover for $13.99. Now, one of the things I am going to go ahead and say is that this is done in a very similar style to the Carmilla book, because it's a smaller size book. Well, it's taller than Carmilla. Carmilla, this is published by Dark Horse, by the way. This is the first time I ever saw Soo Lee's artwork, and I was like, oh, I need more of her artwork. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And there is a second one coming out of this, so if you haven't read that, definitely check it out. But they're smaller than your standard size trade paperback. So to kind of give you an idea of how much smaller here it is compared to the size of a standard trade paperback. Now, the hardcover is also smaller too, just a little bit bigger than the trade because, well, it's a hardcover. But that should give you an idea of the trim size of these books. They're a little bit smaller. Now, you saw the books themselves. I'm going to open up the hardcover. We're going to take a look at the artwork and talk a little bit about the story found in here. But it is the exact same content, including the extras and including the ad all the way in the back too. So just rest assured it's the exact same content, just hardcover, trade paperback. All right, let's go ahead and open this hardcover up. It's your black end sheets. And your title page right there, Disney Villains, Maleficent. Written and illustrated by Soo Lee. This beautiful piece right there by Jeffrey Scott Campbell. The collection covers Jay Lee and June Chung. Lettered by Jeff Eckelberry. And then collection design, Kathleen Hurd. Package and editor, Nate Cosby. And Ivan Cohen is the collection editor. And I love the quote that starts before the issues. You want to know what the source of my power is? I am the source of my power. And kicking it off with issue 1, there's that cover by Jay Lee and June Chung. And we see this forest right here. And this young man, Reynard, that's running away from a wolf and a pack of wolves. However, here comes Maleficent, just letting know her dominance over the animal kingdom with her power. So Reynard introduces himself and he thanks her for doing that. And he wonders how she was able to scare away the wolves. So Maleficent tells him that she is the source of her powers. It's not the wand. So Reynard tells her that he's ran away from home. He's nothing like his brother. Because if he goes back home, he's going to be arrested. Now, before I go any further with this collects the 5-issue miniseries of Maleficent. This serves like a prelude to, I guess, Sleeping Beauty or maybe even the Maleficent movie. But here's the thing. You don't need to have watched any of that to enjoy this. You don't need to play Kingdom Hearts. You don't even need to know who Maleficent is. All you need to know is that there's this lady that lives out in the woods and she's some kind of witch. This does a great job explaining everything to you. So Reynard wants to go on adventures. He wants to leave his world behind and go on adventures all over the world. So she sends him on a quest. She sends him on a quest that has a little bit of a twist and turn. Now, I love the relationship between her and her raven. The raven just caws. That's how the raven talks. However, she understands the raven. There's no translation. There's nothing. It's just a raven understands what she's saying and she understands what the Raven is saying. Caw. That's it. I love that there's no translations. And a lot of this is driven by the beautiful artwork in here. You saw some pages that didn't have any dialogue. There's actually an issue that focuses on the Raven, issue number 3, that has no dialogue. Just a couple of pages, but that's it. So there's a little bit of a twist with what happens with Reynard. That leaves his brother to come looking for him. So his brother Gavin comes looking for him, and she kind of declares war on this kingdom, letting him go. You're able to see her powers of just transforming into a giant snake. And again, the artwork, the beautiful artwork carrying the story. This is the 3rd issue right here. Again, the cover right here tells you the cover credits and just a couple of pieces of dialogue. And then you go on to this adventure to just featuring her Raven and his mighty misadventures. You'll see her fighting an army through here, and you'll see how she even deals with another wizard. Now, before we look at the extras, one thing I wanted to say was, I talked about how you don't need to know anything before this. The lettering is very interesting because it's transparent. So it's not bad when it's like over here, it's on top of the knight. But whenever it's on top of like this tree right here, it's a little harder to see. Now that could be, again, my old eyes. So mileage may vary. And it's also an interesting way to do lettering because it's like, oh, here's this beautiful Soo Lee artwork. We don't want you to miss any of it. And that might be the reasoning why the lettering is done that way. And I do agree. Her artwork is completely gorgeous. It is this beautiful painted and colored. I actually got to interview here Sue recently. I told her, there's like a beautiful mix of Yoshitaka Amano or Gillen March. People like that I really like. And even Jay Lee. So I thought Jay Lee was doing the internal artwork at first, but no, she's amazing. She's the same lady that did Carmilla. Now, all the way in the back, if you're one of those people that has to have everything, that's where you're going to find the many variant covers in thumbnail size with the credits down here. I wish they had done these in a splash page format, but then again, I guess that would have doubled the page count. And then the ad for Cruella de Vil and your end sheets. Now let's look at the build. The book does have 144 pages. It is glued binding. And no difference between this nor the trade paperback. So, I mean, so much so that the page size is the same. The paper size is the same. Let's actually compare it to the internal artwork here. Let's look at these internal pages just to make sure you're rest assured. And the lettering is the same. Very transparent. Paper stock. Same glossy paper stock. But that's it. That, as they say, is that. If you're interested in purchasing this book, don't forget to check out our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the content and page count and, of course, the build of these two different versions. If you have any comments, leave them down below. Don't forget to smash that like button on the way out. And what other characters you would love to see be part of this Disney Villains line from Dynamite. Everyone stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.